Hi, my name is Mark Hart. Welcome to my home, Chilliwack, BC, one of the most beautiful and friendly cities in Canada. Chilliwack is also one of the fastest growing cities in Canada, and a large part of this is coming from an influx of new Canadian families, each bringing a part of their cultural heritage to our community. In collaboration with the Chilliwack Local Immigration Partnership, this video series aims to explore the stories of these newcomer families. How? Through the universal language of food, by baking together and breaking bread together. As a professional baker and owner of Rise Baking Lab, a small baking school in Chilliwack, BC, I'll be spending time baking with these newcomers. We'll dive into their culinary heritage, but more than that, we'll uncover their personal journeys along the way. Our journey will culminate in a grand celebration where the stars of the series, the newcomers themselves, will cater the event, showcasing Chilliwack's growing cultural diversity. Join me in celebrating the rich and growing tapestry of cultures that make Chilliwack such a vibrant community. Welcome to the 6th episode of Breaking Bread. On today's episode, we have the coordinator of social prescribing for Chilliwack Community Services, Leila Reshid. Please welcome her onto the show. Hello.
Hello, Mark. Hi.
Okay. So let's start off just by saying what we're going to make today.
So today we're making a special dish. This is from my childhood. My grandmother used to make it, and it's called ketcha fit-fit.
Ketcha fit-fit.
You got it.
Okay.
So it literally means bread and then breaking it. The fit-fitting is the breaking.
So we're
of
literally
it. So
breaking bread for this episode. That's what we're making is excellent. Okay. So, and where's this recipe from?
This is from Eritrea, from my country where I was born.
Okay.
And it's quite popular. My grandmother used to make it, especially during Ramadan or in preparation of Ramadan, which is our holy month.
Yes.
It's coming up soon. So and she used to make it all the time, and the whole process takes teamwork, and part of breaking bread is my favorite. So we sneak in little bites here and there.
Right, it's a social thing in itself, preparing the dish.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So, so it's we're making a bread, and then we're ripping it up, and then we're gonna
we'll add the spices
and stuff like that.
Yeah, so basically the ingredients are just water, white flour, regular flour, some salt, and then you mix it with hand, and then you cook it in a skillet, and then let it cool. My grandmother never let it cool. She would just go in, and I don't know how she did it.
Yeah.
But we'll let it cool, and then we break it, and then add the spices, and then you put it finally there, just kind of saute it a little bit, get the
Excellent.
cooking.
Well, that sounds great.
Yep.
So let's get started with mixing the dough. I guess that's the first part that we do?
That's the first part, yes.
Okay, so what do we do here?
So what we're going to do is I'm just going to put the flour here, and then I'm going to ask you to help me with the water.
Yes, no problem. We need some salt
some
and
salt.
water.
Thank you. See, I almost forgot that. So,
I had it there ready, so.
And you, to taste. So
To taste,
to
okay.
taste, yeah.
Okay. And then I'm going to
just
add
gradually, you can add
this
it.
a little bit at a time.
Yeah, a little bit at a time, and we're just
Tell me
gonna
if I
mix
need
it.
to go faster.
Go faster.
Okay.
Yeah. A little more. We want the dough to be actually quite thin.
Quite thin, like almost a batter?
Yeah, almost. Yeah. So go ahead, faster.
Okay, more.
Yeah, more.
I don't want to overdo it because that's hard to undo.
If we overdo it, we just add some
more flour?
Flour, yeah. More.
Okay. Okay. Whoa, okay, here we go.
There we go. Keep it coming. There we go. So, gotta mix it.
And this is by hand is the way to go.
By hand is the way to go.
Okay.
Of course, being in the West, we do it a bit different, like the fit-fitting part or the breaking part, just put it in the processor.
Is this good? We need some more?
Just give me a second here.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we get all the liquid in, incorporate it well. And try not to get any lumps in it, but
yeah, you're just kind of smushing them out.
Smushing it, yeah, exactly.
That's how I kind of mix up my sourdough bread by hand as well.
Yeah?
It's just,
Okay.
well, I usually stir it actually a little bit with something else because I don't like getting my hands all sticky.
Yeah.
But, so it's very brave of you here.
You got the gloves, so it should be good. I think maybe a little bit more water, then we'll have the perfect. And then maybe if you could turn on the
burners, we can get a little warmed up.
Get it a little warmed up.
And this, you said we're going to cook kind of like at a sizzling kind of temperature, so
Yeah.
like fairly hot.
Pretty hot, yeah. And just
Okay.
add a little bit of
Okay.
oil there.
Okay, how much? Now we had varying degrees. I
A
had to
little
guess
bit.
at a little bit of oil, and it was a lot of oil. So, like a little bit, or like kind of like a
Oh, this is good. This is
That's good.
This
Okay.
is good. Yeah. Just
On both
same
pans
amount
here?
on both pans, yeah.
Okay, and these.
There you go.
Okay, and then
And this is
these heat
almost
up
ready.
quite quickly. So
Yep.
we'll
So
get it
get the oil kind of.
sloshed around.
That's right. Sloshed around.
Sloshed around. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Some people like to make the dough here a little thicker and
Okay.
bake it a little thicker, but then it's not as easy to kind of do the fitting part. So
Okay. Okay.
So I like it this way, so it's a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the consistency is almost like pancakes, but I guess
Almost.
there's
Yeah.
not the enrichments and stuff
Yeah.
like that of pancakes.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. I think this
It's
is pretty
ready?
ready. Yeah. And
Okay,
I'm gonna start
and
cooking
then
a bit. Yeah.
how do you are we just gonna just drop it in the pan?
Yep. Just
Okay.
drop a little bit in a pan, and then
Okay.
we can use a little spatula kind of to get it evened out.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
really very simple.
Okay.
You can't mess it up.
This I'm
Because-
sure
'cause
somebody could mess it up.
No, but the real deal is really the spices
the
and the
spices
butter.
and getting that right.
Yeah, because that stuff you can't even buy. We had to steal that from my mama's house.
Okay. And what are the
She's,
spices we're gonna put in it?
So we have the red stuff there is the spice. It's called berbere,
Yes.
and if you're
It's one of
familiar-
one of my favorite
Yeah.
spices. I love it. It's
So
nice
we
and spicy.
put that in stews and sauces, whatever, and this one as well. It's a combination of so many different. I don't even know what's in it, man. It's just
Yeah,
this-
I tried to make it one time because I couldn't find it at the store.
Yep.
And yeah, there's a lot of different,
There's a lot of
of
stuff in
ingredients
it,
in there
yeah.
that we ground up and made. It ended up tasting
Yeah.
quite good, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And the same thing with the butter. Also, a lot of spices goes into it, and my mom is it's a whole thing when she makes it.
She makes the butter?
She makes the butter. And
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So
yeah.
this isn't just butter. This is okay.
Oh, this is
okay.
not just butter.
Okay.
You'll taste it. Like,
Okay, but
and
at
that's
home
what's
you
this
can
with-
just use butter, I suppose. It's
No,
not.
you can't.
No, you can't. Don't even try. You have to go.
This is exactly what I mean. I mean, the base of the whole recipe
Is
is
the
so
bu-
simple, but
But
then
you need the butter.
the butter and the
Okay.
berbere is what really makes it. Are we ready
Yes. Yeah, I think these are pretty hot.
there? All
They
right.
should be.
Okay.
Let's see.
So we're just gonna drop a little bit at a time, just enough to kind of give us a
Oh,
thin.
okay. We're just doing like one in the pan, and we want to kind of.
Yeah.
we
So
wanna
you can use the spatula to kind of
spread
even
it a little
yeah,
bit?
spread it
Okay.
up a little bit, and yeah.
Should I make it like as big as the pan?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then I think we'll have one more to go. We'll
Okay.
make 3 of those.
Is that a good temperature? They're
Yep.
kind of sizzling away
Yep.
there.
You're doing really good, actually. This is
Okay.
very good. And then I'll take that. There we go. Again, the thinner they are, it is, the easier it is to kind of break it and
Rip it up
rip
and
it up.
and I guess that affects a little bit the texture of the final thing if it's like a thicker bread versus a
Yeah.
thinner.
And I think we're just gonna go with
Just
the
get
whole
it all
thing.
in one.
Yeah, because this one is a
Big-
bigger.
big pan.
Yeah, big pan. So that's about it, and that's the most time consuming. We're just waiting for it and making sure that we don't burn it as we talk. So,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I'll
Okay.
keep an eye on it.
So while these are going,
Yeah.
why don't you tell me a little bit about where you're from and big question. We can break it up, but what brought you to Canada? And yeah.
All right, but you're gonna keep your eye on this.
Okay, got to keep my eye on it. I'll
Yeah.
I'll
We'll
get
watch
it here.
Okay, yeah.
And then you flip it.
And then
too?
we flip it.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a whole
Okay.
adventure. So
Okay. Yeah.
just hope things work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm from a little country called Eritrea.
Yes.
Eritrea is on Red Sea in East Africa.
Okay.
Small country, but been colonized by the British, by Italian, and finally by the Ethiopian.
Okay.
Ethiopia is just a country right next to it,
Yes.
but there was like a 30-year war
Okay.
between those two countries. And I was born during that time in
Okay.
there. My dad is Ethiopian.
Yeah.
My mom is Eritrean.
Okay.
So my whole existence right there was already controversial.
Yes. Yeah.
So that journey started there. My first trip or immigration, whatever, journey happened when I was 2 weeks old.
Oh my gosh.
My mom was
Yeah.
15, just had me, and my grandmother wanted to flee the country because it was just a lot happening at that time. So we made the journey from Eritrea to Sudan. Took a month on foot.
A month on foot, and you're
And
2
I
weeks
was
old.
2 weeks old on my
Wow.
grandmother's little wrap thingy. My daughter calls me a backpack baby.
Yeah.
That's a nickname they have for me.
Yes.
So yeah, so we made it there. They actually didn't think I was gonna survive it, but I did.
But you pulled through.
I pulled through.
Yeah.
I made it, and interestingly, and then when we got there, it took a couple of tries. We had to go
Yeah.
back and then travel again,
Mhm.
and then finally we made it to Saudi,
Okay.
where I lived a few years there.
Mhm. And you
my-
were traveling with your grandmother?
My grandmother, my mom, and two of her siblings. She's
Okay.
the eldest, and So when we got to Saudi, we stayed there for a while, and
But a little
I'm
hot.
just gonna put it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to risk it.
Don't no. We're not in a hurry, so
We're
that's
not in a
okay.
hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we got there, I lived in Saudi for about 9 years or so. Went to school there, but my mom had to work and my grandmother had to work. But my grandmother is the one who raised me.
Yeah.
My mom actually wasn't a living nanny, so I would see her only once a week for like a few hours, and that went on for years. And there was a lot of history there, of course, being there. Denied lots of awards because of me not being the right skin color or
Right.
not
Yeah.
being a Saudi. So it was a struggle, being underestimated a lot, thinking that I cannot make it, and
Yeah.
But then I got sick, and we had to move to Egypt,
Okay.
and we had to sell everything, and we made it to Egypt. I got the medical attention I needed, and it's a long story. You have time?
Oh, I have time. This is the best. Yeah, this is amazing.
And we're good.
How's
here.
this look here?
It's looking really nice. Okay.
Okay.
There we
Yes.
go.
Okay.
Did you see that?
Yes. Wonderful.
Okay. This one's still
That
good,
one needs
so.
a little more.
Yeah. So we made it to Egypt. I got the medical treatment that I needed.
Yeah.
But then you can't work there. So
Right.
my mom couldn't work. My grandmother couldn't work. My uncles were there already. So, but we decided to stay there, and I had to go to private school.
Okay.
Because if you're not a citizen in Egypt, you cannot
go.
attend public schools.
Okay.
But how are you going to pay for all of that, right? So
Yeah.
my uncle, who's a brilliant man, got an opportunity. He actually got multiple scholarships, and he was hoping to study. But then he realized that he needs to get out and provide for us. So somehow he made it to Canada.
Okay.
And he was sending us money every month. And he's the one who kept us going, honestly.
That's how you survived.
That's how
through it.
yeah. And my grandmother was just amazing. She's never been to school, but she was just so good. Stretched every dollar, made sure that we were fed, make sure my education was paid for. And we lived there for a while. And then my mom got the opportunity to go to Italy.
Okay.
And which is a way to escape. That's most of my people, that's what they do. They try to just get out of
Where can you go? And
yeah.
yeah.
So she made it to Italy, and I was supposed to go with her. My bags were packed, everything was ready, and then last minute I was told I can't go.
No.
And that was very traumatic, as because that was the first time that I was actually going to be with my mom.
Yeah.
So she ended up, leaving. But then now to think about it and know whatever that she had to go through, it was a good thing that I didn't go. It was hard for her in Italy. So she was there for a few years, and then the same uncle sponsored her here to Canada.
Oh, nice.
And as soon as she came here, of course, that's the first thing she did was apply to sponsor me. And
right. How long did it take? A long time?
I think a couple of years.
Yeah. I can't imagine coming and then having to wait a couple of years to get the sponsorship.
especially, but it's still that the hope that this is happening. Like I had full faith that my mom was gonna finally bring me, and we're gonna be united. So she made it. She did the paperwork. She worked hard.
And how old were you then when you got here?
When I moved to Canada, I was 15.
15.
Yeah,
okay.
15. I was really, really good student. Like math, science, everything was very good. So when I came here, I was so excited because my mom was pregnant with my brother at that time. And then the school system was so amazing. Like we don't have to pay for school, and it's
And you're
mandatory for
allowed
me
to go to
and you're
school. Not
allowed
only are you allowed, you have to go
you
to
have
school.
to. That's what my
Yeah.
mom said. I said, I can stay home and take care of you. She goes, no, honey, that's not how it works. You go
Yeah,
into school.
you
And I'm
gotta
like,
go to
okay.
school.
And
Yeah.
that was music to my ears. I was so happy.
And that's
So
a hard time to move, though. Like when you're 15 to start in high school, and
it was very difficult. Like
Yeah.
the whole culture was very different. Like the teenager at my time, I know still this days, I have a teenager myself, but I felt like they didn't get it. I was like,
yeah,
are you playing too much? You know, this
yeah,
isn't,
yeah,
you know, you could do so much with your time. And I
Yeah.
didn't understand. So I really focused on my studies. I was determined to learn the language. That was like
yeah.
really
And so
important.
you didn't have much or any English when
No
you came?
English at all.
Oh, wow.
No English at all.
That,
So,
to go at that age into school and
Yeah.
no English, and
Yeah,
then, but you did really well.
I did really well, actually, quite well. The English part of it, I got the speaking part really quick.
Okay.
And I could fool anybody. Like
Yeah.
the enunciation, everything. I worked on that really hard, but you know, the writing and reading was quite difficult to master.
Mm-hmm.
But because I finished all of my academic studies, I was told that I can graduate early.
Amazing.
So I graduated a year early from high school, which was really nice because I wanted to be a nurse. Ooh, we're gonna do it?
Yeah, I got the hands.
Woo.
Okay. It's all burns, so you can't feel anything
That's
anymore.
good. Okay, you're good. Okay. So yeah, so we end up finished a year early, and I knew I wanted to go into nursing, so I applied right away, and I got accepted right away. At that time, nursing was really hot. A lot of people were interested, but there was no wait list, so I got in right away.
Amazing.
The year early helped.
Yes.
And I went for a year, and I was doing so well in terms of skills and clinical and personality-wise. Everybody loved me, and you know, it was
Yeah.
great. But then the writing part was difficult. The research was difficult.
Yeah.
To read those humongous anatomy books were difficult.
Yeah.
And everybody in my class at that time were 10, 20 years older than me, proficient in English.
Yes.
And my instructor at that time, she's never wondered why my English was not catching up, but she flat out told me, maybe you should consider being a care aide because
Okay.
this is not to your level. So,
Right.
and she failed me.
Oh no.
But you know, at that point, like you understand, like you've been through so much, and it's
Mhm.
always like a
Mhm.
survival mode, and always trying to prove yourself. Like
Yeah.
you tell me I can't do it, I'll show
Yeah,
you
I'll
that
show
I
you.
can.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was my idea, and I took a semester off, and I met this guy in LA. He said that he'll help me finish my school.
Okay.
So at 19, I tell my mom I'm getting married because I cannot just have a boyfriend, my
Yeah.
religion. So
Yeah.
I'm getting married and I'm moving to LA. My mom almost lost her mind.
I can
She goes,
imagine.
we can apply for another. No. I'm like, I need to go, and I'm finished. So I moved to LA, studied, graduated in 2004.
That good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was hard, but got all my credit transferred. I was
Mhm.
called the Canadian girl there. And I thought, okay, there was, at that time when I was here in Canada, we lived in Burnaby, there was hardly any Black people.
Yeah.
So I still couldn't really fit in.
Yeah.
But then when I went to LA, there's a lot of Black people. So I thought, okay, this is pretty
Yeah.
good. But then I wasn't the right Black either there because
Right.
I thought I was good at English, but their English was so different. So when I
Yeah.
speak, they're like, where are you from? And
Right.
that question's
Hard
just
to
all
fit
the
in.
time.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
And then my hair's a little softer. Is this your hair? And
Yeah.
it was so hard. It's like, you don't understand. Like I could relate to them, but they couldn't relate to me.
Yeah.
So it was a journey, but I made it. I graduated. I got the job. I worked at a teaching hospital for 15 years as a floor RN, and
In LA.
in LA.
Oh, wow.
And I did precepting students, and I was a diabetic educator there. So it was a lot of fun things.
Yeah.
But
Did you like LA?
at that time, I did.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't stand being in Burnaby at that time.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I
yeah.
wanted that, but now I would never go back.
Mhm. Mhm.
So at any rate, we end up going there, and things did not work out. I had a daughter who was 5 when we came,
Yeah.
and I decided to move back because at that time my mom had this actually is off now.
Yeah.
My mom had my brother who was a teenager and my sister who was 2 years older than my daughter. So I thought, perfect, I'll go back, live together, and they could grow up together. And that was a brilliant idea. I'm glad I did it.
Right.
And we moved back, and then
And back to where?
back to Canada.
Yeah,
from
but
LA. In Surrey.
In
We were
Surrey.
in Surrey,
Okay.
live in a big house. All of us was
Mhm.
wonderful. And then I got working with this wonderful lady that taught me so much. Both her and her daughter. That was my first experience, a different kind of nursing, whereas one-on-one.
Yeah.
And I cared for that lady for 7 years. I did the holistic care, being socialization, being her medical appointment, being like, she became part of my family, and we were doing really, really good. And she decided to move to Chilliwack, and I had no idea what Chilliwack was. But I said, you know what? I want to move to Chilliwack. Like, I'm
Okay.
ready to go.
Yeah.
So I moved in here. At that time, I had 2 daughters, Malak and Mela, and we came here, and we were doing pretty good. It's a nice city. I loved it right away. But then she died. My client died.
Oh no. Okay.
COVID hit.
So from COVID?
No.
Oh,
from
okay.
that. She died just as COVID started.
Just as
she
it
passed,
started. Okay.
which was nice for her, honestly, because she would not have been able to handle it. She was such a social butterfly.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know, but anyway, she passed away, and I had no job in a new city, and just not sure what to do next.
Yeah.
So I see an ad for a job with Chilliwack Community Services for community connector, social prescriber. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
Social prescribing.
Sounds very interesting, though.
Very interesting. Maybe we could check these out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really, really interesting. I had no idea what it was about. But yeah, I think we can start.
Oh yeah, I can handle it.
You
I
can
don't
handle
know.
that?
Yeah, I'll get the hot one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're so brave. Doing little pieces, okay? The little the better.
Is this small enough?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
good. So anyways, I see that job ad, and I'm like, okay. And then I couldn't find anything about social prescribing, but I found tons of stuff about community services, Chilliwack Community Services.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, I want to apply for this one. And I did. And I was looking for a full-time job, obviously.
Yeah.
But the job was part-time, and it was a pilot program, meaning that
Okay.
it could end or cancel, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember at the interview, my wonderful supervisor, Sarah, she's still my supervisor, she would say, but you're looking, might be a pilot. Are you okay with that? And I
Yeah.
remember telling her, just get me through the door,
Yeah.
and then I'll find something to do in this organization. I had a feeling. I knew it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we, my goodness, social prescribing journey started. The most beautiful thing that I've ever been involved in. It focused my entire life, professionally and personally. Nobody knew what it was.
Yeah.
It was a model
Yeah.
from the UK.
Okay.
So I did try to do as much research as I can. And I remember at that time I was told, you know what, you can make as many mistakes as you can, learn from them,
Yeah.
run with the program, do whatever. And
so
ran,
you were
I
just
did.
you were the pioneer of this program.
Oh,
here.
I ran with it. I just made mistakes and learned from them, and made connection. And actually, the program's mandate is social connection.
Okay. Yeah.
But it was COVID.
Right. So how do you do social
So it's
connection in COVID?
Are we
Yes.
isolating? Or are we socializing? What are we
Yeah.
doing? You know.
Yeah.
So, but then I was so amazed. Like I got introduced to these wonderful community partners where they all kind of work together. Fraser Health, a different organization, us, and Kate was our senior services director at that time, and she would just say, you know, just talk to this person. And she introduced me to Connie, which is another partner, and she said, just you know, learn and just talk and see what you could do, right?
Yeah.
Help as much as you can.
Yeah.
So I was given full autonomy to do whatever I want, as long as I got my heart and mind in the right thing, and full support with everything that I could do with it. And we managed COVID amazingly. Like the whole community came together. We found laptops so people can call their loved one over, Skype.
Right.
We had people delivering meals. We had meals on, like so many good things. But the senior services team itself was very small. We had the Better at Home, which was already directed or coordinated by the supervisor.
Right.
And then it was Meals on Wheels, and it was social prescribing. So we were a small team, but we grew in a ways that I couldn't even, we were thinking it's going to get canceled.
Yeah.
And then here we are, 2025.
So maybe COVID was, something that
Well,
led some things to happen.
Well,
and...
to be honest with you, COVID was just for me to learn that even on hard times, things can get done.
Yeah.
If you have the right team.
Yeah.
But after COVID, doors and doors opened, collaboration, and then I will talk people's ears off. Anybody who want to listen to me, I'll talk about social prescribing and what it is. And basically, what it is just connecting seniors to resources that they can benefit from. So
Yeah.
existing resources, and then making sure there's no barriers, making sure they're following up with them, making
Hmm.
sure, So I had, like, I would sit by the laptop waiting for the referral to come because it was so
Yeah.
slow, right?
So like
Uh,
what kind of things are you talking about? What kind of
oh
referrals
my
to
God. Like, I'll tell you now, right now, when I get a referral, somebody just, I don't even read what they need, like what the doctor think or what the health worker professional think they need. I have a full-blown 2 hour conversation, 1 hour conversation with them, asking them, okay, what's going on with your life? How, not what's the matter with you, but what matters to you?
Yeah.
What do you need? How are you cooking? How are you getting your groceries? How are you getting to your appointments? Does anybody check on you? And then in the team itself right now, I have Meals on Wheels that could provide them meals with delivered by volunteers, so we
Hmm.
keep the cost low. We
Right.
have the Better Home that provide them with housekeeping, laundry, grocery shopping. We have a new addition, the Stars team with our wonderful driver Rob and our beautiful coordinator Nicola, and she connects them to make sure that they get to their. We have a bus. We didn't have a bus, and
Okay.
transportation was huge.
Yeah.
We talked and talked about it, and we got the grant, and we got the bus, and we have the driver. And then now, when I talk to these people, I'm able to tell them, okay, we got you, we got you, we
Yeah. I
got you.
love
So
how excited you are
yeah,
about it.
oh,
Yeah, I can tell you have so much
uh,
passion
it's
about this.
it's so beautiful, especially
Yeah.
like you're talking to people who are very vulnerable, who
Yeah.
sometimes are so isolated, have absolutely nobody. And this is just under CCS,
Yeah.
And then just the latest addition is our wonderful Bonnie. She's our volunteer coordinator, which just continues to find these amazing volunteers that are just jumping in and doing. We have actually a volunteer as we speak now picking up a nightstand and delivering it to a senior. So the service is, there's no boxes, right? Like,
Right.
what do you
You gotta,
need?
yeah,
We'll
yeah.
find a way to
We'll
get it.
figure it out.
Yeah. So grants can be tricky because they give you a mandate of how you can spend them, and they have
Right.
reporting.
Yeah.
So I got around that by asking for donation from like Lions Club or whatever.
Yeah.
So now we have extra cash if somebody needs dentures, if somebody needs a lift, a ramp, a
Yeah.
rail, we can pay for that. Uh, Odd things like hospital, they need, before they discharge a senior, they need a bed. So sometimes I don't have the funds for the bed. So I
Right.
started going on Facebook.
Right.
I'm like asking people, anybody have a bed they want to donate? Or anybody has
Yes.
this? And you would be surprised. I've got a beds, fridge, stove, you name it. I got it off
Amazing.
Facebook. People that willing to help.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful because then you have the whole community engaged, and then also the other partners that we work with. Oh, thank you.
You're
You
welcome.
like this, eh?
Yeah, this is excellent. I like it. And I'm moisturizing my fingers
There you
as I
go.
go.
There you go. So, anyways, and then you have the whole community, other partners like Connie, as I mentioned, she's the president of the Compassionate Neighborhood. She was my first ally and still is. Absolutely passionate person. She's a registered nurse also, so we have that in common. But the way she, like, I come to her with gabs, like I call them service gabs. So if I run into something, I'm like, I don't like this. We don't
Yeah.
have anything for that.
Yeah.
One of those gabs were discharge project,
Yes.
hospital
Yeah.
discharge
Yeah.
project.
You were
So
telling me a little about this. This sounds
yeah,
like very important work.
so that's I found out that seniors can be discharged from hospital after being there for months or weeks to a home with no support, with no meals, no groceries, no nothing.
Where
It's not
maybe
accept.
nobody's been for two
Nobody's
months.
nobody's been.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one of my client actually, and
Hmm.
I'm so happy. Call him. Would you like to come out for a connection? He's like, I have not had my coffee today.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
bread is molded and milk is expired, whatever. So yeah, so I said to her, I said, what can we do? She goes, well, I know. I'll introduce you to another organization, Cherish Project. And then together we created this discharge project that now every senior that has nobody will be paired with a volunteer that will make sure that they get they have a free gift card that they will get them groceries, milk,
Hmm.
bread, whatever, and free meals from Meals on Wheels that are
Yeah.
free, and a volunteer that would visit and check on them post discharge.
Yeah.
So
And figure out because some of them might have big challenges going back to their empty house and
yes,
yeah.
so that these kind of stuff is like that did not exist. Actually, it doesn't exist in any other community except ours.
Okay.
So yeah, like
This
to
is
brag a little bit.
yeah, no, you should be because this is
So
like
yeah,
amazing work and
how
you're
much should we put?
I love spicy things.
Are you sure?
So I don't hold back on account of me.
Oh my gosh, so they can blame you then, okay?
Yes.
Because you're
Yes.
All right.
I just load this on. I love this flavor and
This is
the
the real
spice.
stuff.
I will probably have not had anything. Can I
Mm,
smell it?
yeah. I'll start sneezing.
Wow,
Yeah.
that smells really good. Yeah, I shouldn't breathe too deeply in there, I
Right.
guess.
And you can just
And
get
then
the
this
butter.
is the homemade butter.
This is the homemade
Oh
butter.
my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta smell this one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah?
that's not just regular butter.
That is not.
No.
That's why I can't do it. Right?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
promise you, it's not gonna taste the same.
Not going to be the authentic thing.
Yeah.
Now you were saying your grandmother kind of kept, even though you were only in Eritrea for a couple weeks,
Yeah.
that your grandmother kept the food traditions
Oh,
alive for
food,
you all the way
language.
through every
I
different.
speak fluent Tigrinya. I understand Amharic, which is my dad's side. I don't know how the heck I learned that. And I speak and read and write Arabic. So it's important it was very important for my grandmother that I
Yes.
learn the language, the culture, and how to cook and how to make and make do. Like
Yeah.
we never go to a store to we need to make this, so we're gonna go pick up A, B, and C. No,
Mhm.
it's whatever you got, and you gotta make something with it.
That's a
right?
real kind of
So
gift to have her give you all that stuff. Like I know
she's an amazing woman.
my mom moved to Canada from Holland, but when they moved here, my grandparents were like, "You're not never speaking Dutch again." They didn't speak any, and
Because
they were all just going to speak English, and we wanted, and as a result, she didn't have a lot of the things that her sister who lived there longer, grew up with, and it's amazing for you to be able to
cultures
be given that.
makes us
Yeah.
rich, man. It's amazing. So I'm very grateful for all of that stuff that I learned from her, and yeah. So
Okay, you need
put the
want
gloves
some
on.
gloves? Okay.
Yeah, I have some.
Oh, you have another pair. You're ready to go.
I'm ready to
Okay.
go.
So,
Yeah.
now,
So what was I saying? Yeah. So the discharge
get another
project,
one?
and
Is that
also
okay?
this is okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And then also something that I'm very proud of is the cooking class, intergenerational cooking class.
Right.
So
Yes.
you have to come. You said you're gonna
Yes, I
come.
really
So,
want to come check
yeah.
it out.
So
So you
this
do
is
you
okay.
run this or you?
Well, I started running it, and now
Okay.
it just I have the youth. My daughter actually started this, Malak,
Okay.
and the idea is to have seniors cook with youth,
With
like
youth,
high
yeah.
school
Yeah,
students.
for sure.
The kids come up with the recipe, they prep the kitchen, and then they cook together, they eat together, play
Yeah.
games together, and it's just so good for both sides because I could see the impact of it on my daughter, and I could see it on the seniors. They love that interaction.
My
So-
daughter loves seniors. She's always coming home telling about all the old folks that she's been chatting with on the way home, and she knows all kinds of people just because she always chatting with everyone.
That generational gap or whatever, like there was some. She was uneasy about it the first time. She's like, "What do we talk to them about?" You know?
Yeah.
And the same thing with the seniors. Like they thinking the youth are just always consumed with their phones and But we got the chance to change minds and kind of bridge those gaps, and that was just so beautiful.
And through food as
Through
well.
food as well, and
what kind of things do you make?
Oh my God, anything and everything, and we don't we try to follow recipes. When I'm
Yeah.
there,
We're
it's
just
chaos.
making stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's chaos. When I'm there, we're just having fun, and I always remind them, it's like, and I see most of the seniors are so, and how many pinch of salt?
Yeah. Just throw some salt
just
in
do
there.
salt,
Yeah.
just go and have fun, and then they have fun and they enjoy it. So that's another thing that I got the opportunity to actually a new initiative, and that's all because again I can't speak enough about Chilliwack Community Services and the support and just and the grants like United Way is the ones that manages it's funded by the government but managed by United Ways, and like we approach them with different things and it's always a yes and it's always how can we support, and they want to see the community build itself. And
probably helps that you're doing such a good job at it, though.
well, but not just that, but like recently we subcontracted $20,000 to a local kitchen that we're using, so they can get industrial stove and stuff like that. So it's like literally one of the things that actually Connie told me first is like it's not a competition between organization. We're here to serve. So how can we collaborate? So she put that idea in my head, and then I see like we had different directors. All of them are wonderful, different philosophies, but all the same heart and the same passion,
Yeah.
And it's always comes from the top if you feel the support, and I don't know what to tell you. Like this is the best version of me. I could just tell you that.
Amazing. So
Because
good. And you've had a lot. You've had a lot of different in different places doing different things, and it's nice
yeah,
to see that you're there. And what about Chilliwack itself? How do you feel?
I love Chilliwack.
Yeah.
I see more diversity now, and I do feel like I belong. I do feel like I'm not trying to prove anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm gonna show you. It's kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's like I see the support.
Hmm.
Um, just we like I said, we thought the program is not gonna last, and now we have. When I started, I was doing Chilliwack, Agassi, and Hope.
Yeah.
Now I have a partner in another organization that runs Agassi. I have a partner here in Chilliwack that helps me with Hope. Her name is Joyce, and she actually nominated me for an award, and I won it. And it's just
Amazing. What's the award?
it's a national community connector.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
So that
Well,
was last
congratulations. That's
September.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was nominated, and she was just started. Like she just started, but she saw the passion. She saw how well we work together, and we have the most amazing team. I cannot talk enough
Well,
about our team and the work we do.
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
so a lot of growth.
So I noticed you're like really smushing these up.
You gotta
You
smush
gotta
it.
smush it.
You
It's
gotta
not
make
just you're not just mixing it. You're really
yeah, because you
smushing them
want to
up
get all this stuff
like in there.
in there,
And now we have like little smaller crumbs and that kind of thing in there, like
which is
smaller little
fine.
pieces. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's what we're going for
Yeah.
though. Is that like it's kind of like
Actually,
a
let me turn this off. We're gonna
looks
go
like
this
when you fry it up again. Now it's going to be like
a little bit. Yeah.
have nice
Actually, this
little
is
bits
turning
to.
out to be pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, this is not bad at all. We did a really good job. The
I
part
did a
of
decent
going
job.
this and
Yeah.
fit
Yeah,
fitting.
it was very hot while I was fit fitting.
You did a
But
great job.
I didn't. I tried not to make a face while it burned.
Oh.
It's okay. I got strong fingers here. So
Yeah,
now we're just gonna.
just
How do we know? Just to heat it up, or does it get
heat it up. So
crunchier?
we
Or
want the butter kind of to melt a little bit.
okay,
You start smelling. We can add a little bit of salt,
yeah,
and then you can serve this with some yogurt. Some people we can actually make it with honey. Like you use the
okay,
butter
yeah,
and just honey,
okay.
and that
Instead
gives
of
it
the
a sweet.
spice.
Yeah, you could.
And then would you eat that? How do you eat this? Like what? Like for breakfast, for lunch?
Breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay.
Breakfast, or we call it sahur, which
Okay.
is the meal that we eat before the fasting.
Okay.
So it's heavy.
So
You
yeah,
eat
you're
that
gonna
and
load up.
You're good.
Yeah,
You're good
yeah.
for the rest of the day. So yeah, so it's pretty good.
And this is like all on its own. Is this like a side for something, or this is just like its whole meal?
This is a
the
meal.
meal.
This
Okay.
is a meal.
And so you
Yeah.
get a big
It's
plate of it
very
and just
popular. Yeah,
eat
and
it
then
up.
you eat. You put the yogurt. My brother can eat like I don't know. Yeah, you
huge
can
plate.
eat. You
Yeah.
can eat this. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then I always ask, and I mean this is already kind of answered, is the question about breaking bread, and what it looks like for you either as a family or in your memory of when you're growing up, and what that kind of thing means to you, whether it's now or in the past or
No, I feel like food has a lot of power, and this is actually my love language. So if I love you, I'm gonna cook for you, and
yeah.
if you like my cooking, I love
Then
you.
you're lucky.
So I feel like this is a beautiful way to get people engaged and talking about immigration and
Yeah.
what we bring to the table and how we made it to where we
Yeah.
are and where
Yeah.
that hunger comes from, the ambition comes from.
Yeah.
And actually, I should share a story.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Not too long ago, actually, I was in downtown and needed a facial, which is something really odd. I don't do that much often, but I walked into a local.
Yeah.
It's called Logic Beauty or Beauty Logic, something like that. And the lady that owns the business, she was so sweet and welcomed me right away. And I told her what I needed done, and she asked me what I do, and of course,
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so
You went off on
I went
it.
off on her, and then I thought I had a good story, and she
Yeah.
told me that she actually, she had so much to say about Chilliwack Community Services.
Yeah.
She said to me that her family and her actually took half the class at the ESL. They all started at CCS.
Oh, really?
In immigration services.
Yes. Yes.
She actually knew Sukaina. I mean, we have people that have been in this organization for like 2 decades, like
Yeah.
for a long time, and
Yeah.
there must be something there, right?
Yeah.
So this lady tells me that her family and her brother, sister, mom, everybody immigrated to Canada, and they were connected to Chilliwack Community Services. They attended the classes there. And now she owns her business.
Yeah.
Successful, beautiful business.
Yeah.
Her brother is in Harvard studying. And she still remembers, she goes, Sukaina and Chilliwack Community Services is where we started. So it inspires you. Like
Yeah, that is
people,
very inspiring.
people bring so much. And I feel like Chilliwack is just doing so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so happy with the kind of directions that a lot of things are taking, and with all the new growth. I mean, it's a huge growth in Chilliwack of population, but I think it's a really good thing to see all the diversity that's happening, and changes in the community, and new places to go and to eat. Yeah, there still could be some more places.
We don't
for
have
sure.
an Eritrean or Ethiopian
No, and I would
restaurant here.
love an Ethiopian restaurant or
They have some
Eritrean
in
restaurant
Surrey,
here.
and I think they open a few new ones in Surrey, and then of course Vancouver. There's
Yeah.
a bunch.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Amazing.
One
Okay,
day.
so now is this ready to go? Or
I think so, and I mean,
it's just got to be hot and
It's just
kind of
hot.
melted in. And
and if
and
we
then
can have a little spatula.
let me grab a spatula.
Yeah. Make sure that we don't burn. We did
Yes,
so well so
yes.
far. So, yeah, look at that.
It looks very good.
Right?
And so, even with all the spice for breakfast?
I know.
Okay.
Dude.
Yeah.
My
I
people,
like it. That
my
sounds
people
good.
love spices. I
Yeah.
I'm the wimp in the family. My daughter can do spices better than me. I don't know what happened, but I can't handle it as much as I used to.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I think it's the sweat with the heat over there. It's just something
Actually, sweating makes you cooler.
Cooler.
Yeah.
Something like
Eating
that.
the hot food.
So yeah, they're
I
smart.
never actually thought of that. That's a
so-
good thought. That probably is true. Okay, and we're gonna throw it in this bowl here?
Yep.
Oops. Okay, that's it. There we
That's
go.
it.
Let me get this out of the way here.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah, we're
Is it
okay to
hot?
throw that on there.
All right. All right. Now let's see if I'm gonna make it without losing.
You want to pause for 1 sec? Just pause there.
All right. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, we made it.
Okay.
Ta-da.
Oh yeah, now we can get a beautiful shot of this. Look at that. That smells.
Yeah.
Oh, it really smells good. And so this is just yogurt with some spice on it, and
I just put a little bit for aesthetics.
okay, yeah, just make it look very nice, which is a big part of food being delicious.
Right?
Is it looking nice?
So just a little bit of beurre and then the just regular plain yogurt.
And then
or sour cream.
how do you usually plate it like this? Just on a plate, and you dip it, or
You just take a portion and you add the yogurt on top, and
then you just eat it.
yeah. Or
Okay.
if you're my brother,
Let's. Yeah, I've got a couple.
this would be one serving for him.
Well, I'm gonna give it a try for sure.
Yeah,
So I'm
please
just
do.
gonna take a scoop of this.
Yeah.
And a little bit of yogurt.
A little bit of yogurt.
Grab a spoon here.
Perfect.
Okay, and then we just eat it. Would you like to? Yeah, let's
Let me
do some
see.
too.
Yeah.
You just eat it with your hands?
I will just use a spoon.
With a spoon.
Yeah, let's do a spoon.
Okay. Let's get a couple spoons here.
Perfect.
There you go. Well, let's see.
Okay.
Hope it's spicy. This has been a theme of several shows. Our very first show, Luis, sorry, was sizzled up all these jalapeno peppers, and everybody was coughing, and it was so spicy. Mm-hmm.
Hey, not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Well, it's very good with the yogurt.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can add some more beurre if you like. I think this
I
is good
can
enough.
handle it a little spicy.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Maybe about twice as much.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is good for me.
It's very good. All right.
Yep. That's good stuff.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Our last episode here, and it was great having an awesome conversation with you.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope you enjoy this. And
Yes, it's amazing.
You're doing a great
and
job.
Your
I love
story,
this.
your passion is so evident. It's so amazing. So thanks for sharing it with us.
Thank you very much.